Excited. We have some of our friends over, and we want to ask them some questions because their mindset has really led them down a different path, and it's kind of similar to ours. And it's always great to hear other people's perspectives. So they're young entrepreneurs. They're in the health and wellness sector, right? And they get to work as their own bosses. They don't have a regular 9-to-5 job or corporate or anything like that. And this is a time when it's more prevalent than ever, more common than ever for young entrepreneurs to strike out on their own, but maybe you've never got to ask them some questions. So I'm going to ask them for you, and hopefully some of these resonate with you. So George and Benji here, if you could give them just a little bit of background about you, like how old are you guys, and just a little bit of background.
Okay, guys, my name's George.
I'm Benji.
This is Benji. I'm 27, she's 24. Before we started our business, she was working full-time at basically a 9-to-5, and she was a student. I also was a personal trainer. I was training to be in the NBA, and I had a bunch of different jobs from construction to, I guess you would say, real estate. But more so, I just wanted more for my life.
And I was working 9-to-5 at an office. I was going to school to be a full-time occupational therapist, and I just kind of wanted more for my life. I was going to school because that's what I was taught to do. I was also working on the side because I was working paycheck to paycheck, so I needed to make ends meet, and I was teaching as well. So going to school, working full-time, and teaching at night. So I had a super hectic schedule.
And yeah, honestly, that was one of the main reasons that that I started the business in the first place. I hated having to be somewhere. Like she said, she had 3 jobs, but she had no time, and she had to be somewhere where they told her to be, not where she wanted to be. So for me, I was a personal trainer. I had to be in the gym from 8 to 8, 8 to 9. I had clients from, if you're in the Florida area, I had clients from Key Largo all the way to Broward. So it was always driving. I was either in the car or in the gym trying to train some clients. I would rarely train myself, and I was only making enough to pay all my bills, to do all those things. But in reality, I had no time. I was basically, and this happens to a lot of people, I was basically being convinced, right? Like I was taking that extra, I was making $100 an hour for my personal training clients, and I was thinking I was getting highly paid because most people get $8 to $12 an hour. But why limit yourself? Why more? Why not more? And why not do it from somewhere that you enjoy? So that's the reason I took on and started my own business with Herbalife. That's what we started doing. It's been absolutely amazing. I started 3 years ago. She joined me in March of 2017. And after 9 months, she was able to go full-time and work with me doing the business. So now we do it completely full-time together from home. And we're just out here really focused on trying to help people create the same opportunity for themselves.
Right? Living your best life.
Living our best life.
I like it. So let me ask you this. Let's say somebody is working hard, or maybe they're in school and they have a few jobs, or they see entrepreneurialism and freedom like something they want, but they have no idea how to get started, or even like how it would work out for them. What are some tips that took you from being interested to being successful?
Probably my biggest tip, and it's from Tony Robbins, is burn the boats. If you really, really, really want to do something, you just have to do it. You don't have to know how to do it, you just have to do it, and you'll figure out the rest later. Tony Robbins says it, he's like, you just got to jump in and the rest will figure it out, but you got to cut all sources of retreat. That's something that I did when I first started. I was a personal trainer, like I said. When I found Herbalife, I just went in just to try some shakes and lose some weight. That same day, I saw the business plan, I saw the compensation plan. I was convinced. I sent all $4,000 back to my clients. I refunded everybody. I had about $350 left in my bank account, and I was like, I'm in. There's no retreat. I told all my clients, guys, I'm done training. If you want nutrition, I can help you. Not one of them started. But I knew that I had to jump in if I was going to take something serious, because there's no such thing in life as being half in and half out. You either do it or you don't.
I mean, for me, it was a little bit different because I was extremely skeptical. And when I thought of being an entrepreneur, it seemed so far away because I didn't know how to start. I knew I wanted to be my own boss. I knew I wanted that time freedom. I knew I wanted financial freedom, but I was taught to go to school. I was taught to work a 9-to-5, so I didn't see a way out. So I was extremely skeptical, like I said, of Herbalife, of the products. the business, not because I had tried it, not because I knew about it, but because I was just ignorant. I had heard a lot of people talking negative about it, so I kind of just went with the flow. And you know, everything in life happens for a reason, and the one person that, you know, I ended up dating was someone that was already doing Herbalife full time for already 3 years. So what really kind of just changed my mindset was the fact that I attended my first event, and I saw the bigger picture. I saw that it was more than just, like he said, it was more than just shakes. It was more than just products. It was a way, it was the vehicle that was going to take me to becoming my own boss. It was that vehicle that I was looking for the whole time, that was going to take me to that financial freedom, to that time freedom. So when I finally discovered what this, I guess you can say like that world was about, you know, I just went into it full force. And like he said, like he mentioned, 9 months later, I was able to fire 2 bosses. I dropped out of school, and guys, this has been my journey. I don't recommend it. I don't knock down 9 to 5, but I knew that I wanted more for my life. I knew that I wanted to help people, but not behind 4 walls. I knew that I wanted to be free. I knew that I felt just trapped. I wasn't happy. I was miserable. I was that person that in school, I would sit there so unhappy. I would sit there asking for, like, when is it, am I gonna stay here for another semester just writing more papers, just paying someone to write more papers for me, just crying every semester because I didn't know what I was gonna do the rest of my life. So like I said, I found this opportunity. I went full force. Today we are our own boss. Today we help more people. We're in over 90 countries, so I don't have to limit myself to someone walking in an office and just helping someone there, because my goal was to help kids with autism, and that's what I was going to school for. But I know that I'm not going to let go of that. I know that this company and this business helps me, you know, help people with their nutrition, but I know that in the future I can do so much more with that, because I can give back to people with the financial freedom that we will have in the future, and I can reach that goal.
And real quick, she said something just because it's a disclaimer. She said, it's my journey, I don't recommend it. We recommend it. We highly recommend it. Disclaimer, it's not easy, it's not typical, but it's possible. We recommend this life, guys. It's the best one possible.
I love it. All right, let me ask you this. So you were in school for occupational therapy. You guys, that's a career, great, you know, impact and pay. You were training, had high-paying clients. What was it about being an entrepreneur, and more importantly, you know, for us, we're Herbalife distributors, we leverage network marketing. What about network marketing and being an entrepreneur just made sense? What made it click for you?
Well, I knew that I definitely didn't want to take a bribe to forget about my dreams. That's normally what happens when you get a paycheck. People consider stability in a paycheck a bribe, and that's not what we wanted. That's not what I wanted. I wanted way more, and I knew of a bunch of entrepreneurs and just motivational speakers, from Tony Robbins, who took his income from, was it 36,000 to 1 million in 12 months. Grant Cardone, and just so many different people that I knew that there was more out there and that it was possible. And the same thing that, you know, we go to events for our business, for, you know, with Herbalife. When you see stories, you see testimonies, you see what's possible. So what we really saw was freedom, possibility, vision, and we understood that it could happen for us. But we had to get the information. Most people, I think that's where people get stuck. People, they don't have that bridge between the idea and the possibility and starting it. They don't know what that, you know, how to get there. But you just have to ask questions. You know, most people don't realize that if you don't ask the question, you'll never have the answer. So people go without the answer for 60 years, retire, and then live off nothing for the rest of their lives. And that's not something that I wanted for myself, for her, for our future family.
What are some tips that you guys would give to somebody starting inside of the network marketing like profession, like we are, you know, because we all chose to make this like our career. We're professionals. What tips would you give to somebody that's just starting? Like if it was a young George and Benji, what are some things that you wish you could tell yourself when you first got started on, like, that would eliminate some things, like would just eliminate roadblocks along the way?
Don't listen to negativity. I think for me, I think that's the biggest challenge, because like I said, I only knew what was inside my bubble, right? I guess you can say I only knew what I was taught. So they don't teach you how to become an entrepreneur in school. They don't teach you how to become an entrepreneur working at a 9 to 5. Like, an entrepreneur is that person that you work for. So they don't teach you those skills. Like, you just work for that person. You work to build up that person's dream. So when you kind of branch off and you start working for yourself and you start, you know, just building your own future, people don't like that. People don't like the fact that you're straying away from what's normal. So for me, I had, you know, for me it was hard. It was so hard in the beginning. I had so many people that didn't understand my hustle, didn't understand my grind, didn't understand why I chose to do certain things. And the biggest thing that I would tell you is it's going to start with your family. And that's going to be the hardest part, is when your parents don't understand, when your closest friends, the people that you think are going to support you and that are going to be the first, I get like clients, that are going to be the first supporters, when they turn their back on you like this because it's not normal, those people are going to be the first ones that are going to tell you no. And the hardest part, and the part that you have to develop in yourself, is to say, I'm going to do it no matter what, because this is what I want. Because, like, what's her name? Lisa Nichols says, the doorway is for you to fit. The doorway is for your dreams, is for your vision. And if anyone else follows you, then great. But whoever's not willing to come with you, it doesn't matter, because it's for you to fit. So for me, that was like the biggest lesson I learned. And if I could have avoided all that like heartache, all that stress, all the drama in the beginning, for me that would have just, it would have eliminated a lot.
So for me, I would say first, pay attention, because success leaves clues, and stop trying to be the man and just be a part of a team. You know, I didn't really understand my business. I really didn't understand network marketing. I thought that I could be a rock star and just rise to the top alone, but you can only get so far alone. So what I would tell you is, work on your people skills, work on your communication skills, read a lot more. You know, what is it, Warren Buffett, he said if he could ever have one superpower, it wouldn't be to be invisible, it wouldn't be to fly, it would be the ability to read faster. So he could intake more knowledge, so you could help more people and build his business, so you could, you know, have more information. So I think I would definitely recommend reading audios a lot more. Pay attention, like I said, success leaves clues. People who are successful are willing to help, but they're not willing to do it for free. And it doesn't mean monetary, it could be anything. What value do you bring? Do you contribute? If you contribute, they contribute. So that's something that I learned after almost 2.5 years into my business. Instead of chasing the information, I started contributing, and all of a sudden the information was given. And third was be the example. Be the example, and don't just do it by talking. Instead of yelling at people and bossing around people, just be the example, and people are gonna follow.
Fire. All right, last one. Why was it worth it? You guys, they're part of the global expansion team currently at the time of this recording, right? They'll probably get to look back at this at President's Team and Beyond, and get to see that.
Can we get that video?
And be like, can I get that video, right? You know, top 6% of a $7 billion company, right? They're definitely successful, full time, right? Live here in Miami Beach. Disclaimers, you know, go to myherbalife.com for all the average income. But why was all that stuff you had to go through? Why was it worth it?
For moments like this.
Yeah.
If you guys get out of the way and you look at this view, it's all worth it when it comes to the freedom you have, the peace of mind you have, the friendships you create, the relationships in general that you create, and just the at least in our business specifically, we're able to make such a huge impact, and it's not just making money. You see a lot of people making money from their phones and they're entrepreneurs, but are they actually helping people? Something that I love is that not only are we making money, but we're helping a lot of people. When I get, when specifically her, she deals with most of our clients. When we get messages saying, oh my God, I've lost 30 pounds, like my daughter says I'm beautiful now. Like on moments like that, or man, that $1,000 you helped me make save my marriage. Like those different little things actually changing people's lives, affecting people's lives in a positive way. I think that makes it all worth it. And we're on vacation and it's just me, her, and my family, and it's fully paid by Herbalife. It's worth it.
What about you, Ben?
And for all the people that said you couldn't do it and you're like, boom, baby, I did it. That's right. Yeah.
Yes,
why
was.
you showed them. That's why it's worth it.
Awesome.
Bro,
Thanks. Any
later.
questions you want to end with?
That's the
No,
real.
that's it.
I think
it.
that's it. We got enough questions.